How to switch from monthly invoicing to prepay. What is happening? Today's question comes from JS Landscaping, and I really like this question. It is something that I actually had to do in my video, and with any of these videos, I would love to hear anyone and everyone's opinion that is willing to share it in the comments. Please do. I don't feel like I know it all. I'm just trying to get you guys thinking about certain stuff, and hopefully it leads you to the solution in your business, because everybody's business is a little different. You're at a different level. You have, some of you have employees, some don't, some are thinking about getting started, some are doing it part-time. You live in different parts of the country, some rural, some in the city, etc., etc. There's lots of variables, so I just love to hear everyone's opinion in the comments if you would care to share. And I got on my Canva creative shirt here. If you haven't checked out Canva, go to canva.com. It is free. You can use the majority of the stuff they offer for free, including like a logo maker. You can use their little logo templates, customize it, get a little logo for free. So they have templates for everything, sizes for all the different social media platforms, all that kind of stuff. It's really slick. And it's so much easier to use to Photoshop, and you can do a lot of the same things you can do inside of Photoshop much quicker, easier, and for free. So let's get into the question here: how to switch from monthly invoicing to prepay. Okay, so my first tip is going to be do it gradually. So what you can do is you can just say, new customers coming in, change anywhere that it said you could pay monthly on your website and stuff like this, change it. So new customers, that's the standard, that's the only option. Do I really recommend doing this? I think you need to have a customer base built up to really be able to do this. I think you're gonna limit yourself to people that'll actually try your service if you're just getting going. So, this is something that definitely, I love this, but I don't know if I recommend it to guys that are just getting their business started. I think you kind of need to open your services up to as many people as possible and kind of safeguard against not getting paid as best you can by taking different measures. So when you're ready to do it, if you really want to do this, just tell the people that are calling in new clients, new leads, tell them that you're prepay. So that you prepay, and then we're going to come cut the grass. If we don't come to cut the grass or whatever, we're just going to give your money back, stuff like that. So you can just draw the line in the sand and say, moving forward, new customers, you can only prepay. But what about all your existing clients? Maybe you've had clients for several years and all this kind of stuff, and they're paying at the end of the month like clockwork. When we made this switch, I didn't even bother the people that paid their bills like clockwork. I was like, no, they're fine. I send them email with an invoice on the 1st, and I have a check in my mailbox on the 3rd or the 4th. There is no need to try to finagle this. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So that's just something to keep in mind. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But I do know this is a big issue. At certain times in my business, we had $50,000 plus in accounts receivable, and it was freaking absolutely insane and definitely stressful and stuff like that. So definitely do something here. So maybe you can tell your existing clients that all new clients have to prepay. We're having some issues with AR, blah, blah, blah. Keep it very professional. Don't make anybody feel sorry for you or anything like that. Just present them with facts. This is a business move. But I wouldn't recommend forcing all of your clients to go to prepay like that. Maybe tell them the first year that you want to do it that this is all new clients have to do it, but we're giving you guys a year to get ready for this switch, and maybe next year it's going to be mandatory for everybody if you wanted to do it like that. And if you really want to get people on prepay, maybe you need cash flow and stuff like that. Cash is king in the business. Maybe incentivize them. Can you give them 3% off, 5% off, 7% off, something like that for prepay? something to consider that would get people to switch. Just definitely present it in a professional manner. Make sure you really think about what you're gonna say. I would probably do this over an email so you just nail it. You can just revise your email as many times as you need before you send it out, and then just be prepared if people want to call and talk that you know exactly what you're gonna say. Keep it very professional and all that kind of stuff. Now, he didn't mention anything about this, but something that I would strongly consider if I was considering doing this prepay thing, which is something that we did, also offer autopay. Why would you not offer autopay where you actually just have their credit card on file, and then every time you run the service, you run the card? So that is like the ideal situation in my opinion. Like they got the service already, but we're gonna go back at the end of the day and run the card. The way my company did it is we ran the cards every Tuesday. So the week of service before, if you were on an auto bill plan with us, we ran your card on Tuesday. The reason I ran it on Tuesday is because that gave anyone and everyone a chance to say, hey, we had an issue with this service before we charged them. So even if we cut it, say, on a Sunday, they still had, Sunday evening and all day Monday before we ran the card Tuesday morning. And obviously if they got done on the week prior on the Monday, they had over a week to say, hey, don't run my card, or come back and fix this before you run my card, or something like that. So I think a lot more people will go for that. I feel super secure paying with a credit card online and all this kind of stuff. I mean, that it's honestly more secure than a check. Your check has all your information as far as your address, your bank account, your routing number, all that kind of stuff. Like, that's really a lot that somebody could do a lot of damage with, and a credit card is just much more safe. So I think a lot of people are really coming around to doing this type of thing, so strongly consider that as well. If you do keep people's cards on file, make sure you have covered all your bases as far as like some kind of authorization that you have like signed and on file, because you don't want to get caught up in something like that, and obviously never run anybody's card for something that they aren't willing to pay for, the service you didn't provide. Like, that would be detrimental. And then the last thing I wanted to mention here is, when we did prepay, we only allowed people to prepay for the season, and we gave them a 7% discount. Like, at the beginning, we had a handful of customers like, oh, well, we want to do that 7% discount, but we just want to do it month to month. So I was like, that's not exactly what the deal was. But like, for one example, this one guy, we did 3 properties. Literally, we stopped at one place. It was his house. His father-in-law's was across the street, and he had a rental across the street too. So it was one stop. We cut his 3 lawns, and we cut like 3 or 4 other people's lawns right there. So I like made the exception for this guy, and it really just turned out to be a nightmare. So if you're gonna do this prepay, especially on a month-to-month basis, make sure you have a really good system of tracking of what you got this payment in, and then it's drawing from services as they're happening, and make sure there's 0 error in your math, in your invoicing and all that, because you're gonna really lose a lot of customer confidence very quick if you start offering this, and then it just creates a big hassle nightmare as you're sending them invoices for stuff they've prepaid for and this kind of stuff. So just be cautious, make sure you have everything squared away before you do it. I love the idea. I think it's almost needed with how people don't want to pay for anything these days. So yeah, I like the thought process. Prepay, autopay I think is slightly better, and more people will go for it. And incentivize them in some way, shape, or form. Give your existing clients time to adjust and get used to this concept. And yeah, that's what I got for that. If you have anything to add to it, please leave it in the comments. That would be much appreciated. And until the next video, keep making money.